Hello students, I am Rakesh Chauhan working as PGT Physics in Suraj School Bawal. I welcome you all in the e-learning classes of physics. Today our topic for discussion is bar magnet as equivalent to a solenoid. This is very important topic of chapter 5th, that is magnetism and matter. So what we are actually going to discuss in this topic is we will prove that a solenoid is equivalent to bar magnet. Okay, so how we will prove that? We will take solenoid, derive the formula of magnetic field at its axis, and we will find that the formula derived is same as that of the formula of magnetic field at the axis of bar magnet. So that will be the course of proof of bar magnet as an equivalent to a solenoid. So let us start with a solenoid which carries current I per turn and number of turns per unit length as small n. So this is a solenoid, suppose, whose length I have considered as 2L, from minus L to plus L, so the total length becomes 2L. This is the center of the solenoid, and suppose this is a small distance or length or a small part of the solenoid which consists of n into dx number of turns. Why I am writing this n into dx? This is the differential length dx, and if I multiply this differential length dx with the small n, which is number of turns per unit length, then definitely it would be the total, or in fact the number of turns on this portion of this solenoid. So dx is the differential length, and I multiply this. If I multiply this dx by this small n, then definitely we can calculate the number of turns in this much of length. Why we are taking this much of length, we will discuss it during the course of derivation, but for the simplicity or for the time being, you must remember that this we have taken as dx, differential length, which consists of n into dx, total number of turns in this length. Okay, now we have also assumed that the position of this differential length or this segment on the solenoid is x from the center of this solenoid. Okay, this is the axis of solenoid, as you all know, and we will derive the formula of magnetic field at its axis. So suppose this is the point of interest at which we want to derive the formula of magnetic field. So this is suppose point P, which is located on the axis of this solenoid. Okay, so the we have to assume the distance of this point from the center of the solenoid, and this distance I have taken here as suppose capital R from the center of the solenoid to point P. So what will be the distance of this point P from this differential length dx? So you will say if I subtract this x from this R, so this will be the distance, that is R minus x of point P from these n dx turns, or we can say this differential length dx. So this is the distance of these turns from this point P, which is R minus x. Okay, now these turns can be assumed to be circular like this, and this point P is situated at the axis of these circular loops, and we have derived the formula of magnetic field at the axis of a circular loop. What was the formula? If you can remember, it is mu 0 IA square upon 2x square plus a square raised to the power 3 by 2. What was a? It was the radius. So here we have assumed the a as radius, and this radius will be in fact same for all the loops wound on this solenoid. So a is the radius. What was x in this formula? So in this formula, x was the distance of the center of these loops or this loop from this point P. So here, what is the distance from the center of these loops to point P? So you will say these are the loops in fact, and this is the point on the axis. So how much distant this point P is from these loops? So you will say r minus x. So instead of using x, here we will use r minus x. So that you must remember. Okay, one more thing I would like to say is this formula we have derived for a single loop, but here are they single loops or is this a single loop? No, the number of loops are n into dx in this differential length dx. So definitely we have to multiply this magnetic field by n into dx, because at point P the magnetic field, if we want to calculate due to this much of length, then definitely we must multiply the number of turns, and the number of turns in this differential length would be definitely n into dx. So what should I write the formula for magnetic field at point P due to the loops present in this dx differential length of this solenoid? So you will say we will put r minus x in place of x, and n dx we will multiply this expression by n dx. So I am just writing down that expression, and thereafter we will integrate that expression from the entire length of this or over the entire length of this solenoid, that is from minus L to plus L, to find out the net magnetic field at point P due to this solenoid. So magnetic field at point P due to n into dx number of turns which are at r minus x distance will be, suppose dB is equals to mu 0 I, suppose current is flowing through all the loops, so mu 0 I n into dx number of turns, a square is the radius square divided by 2, and x square, in place of x square it is r minus x. So r minus x whole square plus a square raised to the power 3 by 2. So using this formula, or this is the magnetic field in fact at point P due to the number of turns which are n dx in this differential length, or which are at distance r minus x from the center of these loops. These loops are very congested, or we can say are close to each other, therefore the we can take the center or all the centers as common for these loops. Okay, so this is suppose equation first. Now since we have to find out the net magnetic field at point P due to this complete solenoid, so what should be done? You will say we will simply integrate this expression of magnetic field at point P due to this much of loops over the entire length of this solenoid, that is from minus L to plus L. So now integrating both sides for net magnetic field B, the integration of dB will be B, and the integration of this will be mu 0 I n dx a square divided by 2 r minus x whole square plus a square raised to the power 3 by 2. And since the variable is x, so x will be ranging from minus L to plus L for the entire length of this solenoid. So the limit of x will be minus L to plus L. Okay, now we will take all the terms except x outside this integration, but before that we will take a simple assumption here, and the assumption is that if r is very greater than x, since x is this much of distance and this the maximum value of x may be L, but this P point may be anywhere on the axis, therefore we can take the assumption that this r is definitely far greater than this x. So if r is very greater than x, then simply r minus x can be considered as r. So if I put this value here, r minus x, in place of r minus x I am putting just r, so it will become b is equals to integration minus L to plus L mu 0 I n dx a square divided by this 2, and in place of this r minus x we have to write down just r, so it will be r square plus a square raised to the power 3 by 2. Now we will take one more assumption here, and the assumption is if since r is very greater than a also, r is this distance and a is the radius of this solenoid, and the radius of the solenoid or diameter of the solenoid is also very less as compared to its length. So therefore r is very greater than a, we can assume, and if r is very greater than a, then r square will be far greater than a square. So we can simply replace this r square plus a square as r square. So if I put this value into this equation, which is equation second, suppose, so we can write down the net magnetic field at point P will be integration from minus L to plus L, and this is mu 0 I n dx a square divided by 2, and r square plus a square we have to write down r square, so r square raised to the power 3 by 2, this becomes r cube. In fact, r square raised to the power 3 by 2 means r cube. So this is the expression actually after taking these two assumptions here. Okay, now we will solve or simplify this equation to find out the net magnetic field at point P. So we will take the other constant outside the integration apart from this dx, so all are constant, you can say, except this x. So net magnetic field at point P will be integration from minus L to plus L mu 0, as I have said, we will take it out, mu 0 I n a square divided by this 2r cube integration from minus L to plus L. Okay, now we will solve this integration. Mu 0 I n a square will remain as it is, and if you integrate this it will be x from minus L to plus L. If you put the limits here, mu 0 I n a square divided by 2r cube, so it will be L minus of minus L, so it will become 2L. So mu 0 I n a square upon 2r cube, and it is 2L. Now what we are going to do is, if I multiply this 2L by small n, what is a small n? The number of turns per unit length. And what is 2L? The total length of this solenoid. So if I multiply this small n into total length of the solenoid, then it gives the total number of turns, which is denoted by capital N. So in place of n into 2L, I can write down capital N. So B is equals to mu 0 I n into 2l. In place of n into 2l, I am writing down capital N A square upon 2r cube. So this is the expression. Now actually we have to prove this magnetic field as equivalent to the bar magnet. So we have to do some improvisation in this equation. What are the improvisation we are going to do are very simple. If I multiply this equation by 2 pi in the numerator and 2 pi in the denominator, so you will say it will become mu 0 upon 2 into 2 pi, and here also I will multiply 2 pi I, or in fact I n 2 pi a square divided by r cube. So I simply multiply this 2 pi and in the numerator as well as denominator. So it will become mu 0 upon 4 pi, and this will become, if I take this 2 outside and this as n I, and this pi e square, this is the area of the loop of this solenoid. So we can take it as a area of this loop, and this is divided by r cube. Now we are going to have a very interesting result here. This nia is the magnetic dipole moment of these loops, or total magnetic dipole moment of this solenoid, because if we multiply current by the area of the loop, it gives dipole moment, and n are the total number of turns in the entire length of this solenoid. Therefore this will become the total dipole moment of this solenoid. So I will replace this nia as m, that is magnetic dipole moment of this solenoid, and this is simply mu 0 upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. And this is the formula actually which is equivalent to the magnetic field at the axis of bar magnet. This formula also represent the magnetic field at the axis of the bar magnet. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that bar magnet as equivalent to a solenoid. So we have taken the current carrying solenoid and derived the formula of magnetic field at the axis of this solenoid at point P, and we found that this formula is similar to that which is for the magnetic field at the axis of a bar magnet. So we can say that a bar magnet is equivalent to a solenoid, or a solenoid is equivalent to a bar magnet. So that is how you will prove that a bar magnet is equivalent to a solenoid.